Hello and welcome to my alternative channel, Anti-War. And on Anti-War, Louisiana Beer Reviews presents Schlitz, the beer that made St. Louis famous, Milwaukee famous, St. Louis famous. Well, you know where I'm going with that. This can I bought today at a local store, and it says Schlitz Brewing Company, St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, John and Neely, this is the St. Louis, Missouri. It says Schlitz Brewing Company, St. Louis, Missouri. And I knew it would come back. I knew it would come back. People said, it's gone. I said, it's coming back. It's coming back. And it came back. This was canned in July. So it's about 2 months old. I don't know why it would take 2 months to show up, because it's 10 hours. I can drive to St. Louis in 10 hours, maybe less. But it took 2 months to show up from the canning date. Okay. Same can. It says W.G. Williamsburg. So this can is coming from Williamsburg, Virginia. $12.99 a 12-pack. Tommy Carroll, hello, Louisiana Beer Reviews. Hope you've had a pleasant day. Yes, I have. B Aviation says howdy. Ron, howdy to you. So here's an old Schlitz glass I have. I bought it for $1 at a flea market. Now, I bought this can in 1996. This was the 1995 50th anniversary of the end of World War II. Found this in Hammond, Louisiana on United States Highway 51, southbound. Store still there. And I remember when I bought this can, I was like, no, actually, I bought the 6-pack. It was a 6-pack. You had to buy the pint can 6-pack. I think it was $3.99. I remember thinking, man, 50 years since World War II. 50 years. Because I actually knew people that were in that war. And I remember my mother telling me, see that guy? He was in World War II and he was like 47. So I remember when the World War II veterans were in their 40s. Now they're like 100, you know. It's crazy. But I remember when the Vietnam guys were like in the 25 years old, 23. I always felt bad for them, you know, but 75, you know. But time marches on, right? Schlitz marches on. Schlitz marches on. So did Anheuser-Busch improve it? I thought that Miller did a good job with it. I thought that City Brewing did not such a good job with it when they took it over for about 2 years. They might still make it. You might find cans that say City Lacrosse LX. I thought they did not do such a good job with it. Although I did think they did a good job with the garage beer lime. I haven't had the regular, the original. But let's see about this Williamsburg, Virginia Schlitz. It smells like, you know, grain, generalized grain. I was saying, I would really love to interview some of the World War II veterans. One of my granduncles was a World War II veteran who fought in Japan, and he had some amazing stories. He fought in Japan. Well, I think you mean he fought against Japan, because they didn't really have any battles in Japan except for air raids. You know, they had air raids, but as far as ground combat, no, not in Japan. But I think I get what you mean. Yeah, I knew a lot of people. I mean, growing up, I knew so many people that were in that. And they even had some naval engagements in the Gulf of Mexico, right off the coast of New Orleans. I mean, minor, but actual engagements with ships being sunk and stuff like that. So anyway, all right, back to this. I like it. It's not really what I experienced with the 2007 Gusto, which had a sharp hop note to it. Although I think they went a little overboard about 2011, 12, where they were making it like an IPL, which I didn't think was appropriate. But this tastes, well, I'm trying to think back. I'm like trying to put my mind back into 1973 when my father would sip on Schlitz beer. I mean, that was just a common beer. Like in 1973, that was just like McDonald's or Kraft macaroni and cheese. It was just like normal. You didn't think about it. But I can remember sipping from the cans and bottles in 73 as a 5-year-old. And I don't think it really tasted like this. To me, it tasted more sour. Like sour, like not tart, like these so-called sour beers, but sour, like sour cream, sour. But yeah. I think it's like halfway there to the original flavor, but it's probably better. It's probably better than the original flavor. I just remember, being 5, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old. I just remember Schlitz was so huge. It's like just like Chevrolet, Ford, ABC, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, just like common things that you think of. It was so common that it was so common that you did not think about it. And then there were some problems, which I wasn't tracking beer. I was not tracking beer production when I was 8 years old, but they had some problems, to say the least. And then it faded over the next 10 years. It began to fade, which I didn't keep track of that. I just remember in 1975 saying to my father, what happened to Schlitz? Because I just remember, you would watch a football game, NFL, college, didn't matter. You would watch a football game that always have Schlitz commercials. 75, 6, 7, 78, 79. And it was just, and then it was like, what happened? And then, but I wasn't connected to what was going on. I didn't know the internal operations with all the lawsuits and the government investigations and all of that. No one went to jail, but anyway, it's still around, still there, still around. Not from Milwaukee anymore. Hasn't been from Milwaukee in a good while, but these things do change. I mean, I have 2 bottles of Burnett's vodka, Burnett's watermelon, and I mean, these are flavored, BS products, but whipped cream and watermelon. But but the funny thing about Burnett's, Sir Robert Burnett's, it's a company that was founded in 1770 in England. and it's still around. It's not connected to the original distillery. That's probably a parking lot today. But Burnett's does trace its heritage back to 1717. You can still today, this very day, buy Burnett's London Dry Gin, which I've never had. Probably should try it. I've had Taka London Dry Gin, Seagram's, and actually a lot of others. But these heritage brands is what I'm leading to. These heritage brands have a place, even though the connection to the original company could be tenuous, to say the least. But it is pleasant. But to me, it comes across more like a Schaefer, like back in the 1990s Schaefer. Not so much, well, okay. The 1990s Schlitz was sort of like Schaefer, so yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I used to buy Schlitz pretty regularly, and Schlitz Light when we were going out, because I had friends, we want light beer. Okay, I'll get Schlitz Light 24 packs, but does kind of harken back to that, kind of like really generic, kind of a generic flavor. Not a bad flavor, but not anything you want to go on an expedition for. So how would I score it? Well, there's a little herbal quality, little, like tiny white bread. Does it have the stereotypical Anheuser-Busch flavor? Yes, I would say so. I'll go with an 8.7. 8.7, yeah, 8.7 out of 10. Nothing amazing, but nice. A B is for bubblegum. So I'll give it a B. It's good. Would I buy it again? I bought a 12 pack this morning. I mean, I might buy it again. I don't know. Certainly, I have other products I can buy for cheaper, not like natural ice from Anheuser-Busch, which I probably would score higher. Yeah, all things considered. Yeah, I mean, Okay, comments. Tommy Carroll says, have you had a chance to try Pabst Extra Brewed by Anheuser-Busch? Well, honestly, we couldn't even find Pabst Extra Brewed by City Brewing, so no. Pabst Extra is like to my area, but I would try it. I would really love to interview some of the work. Oh, yeah, I read that. I believe he fought on Iwo Jima. Oh, horrible environment there. Correction. Do you know what the most popular beer was in World War II era? Says B Aviation. Well, it really wasn't that different from today. It was probably Schlitz, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and Budweiser, Miller High Life. It really wasn't that different. Were the beers better than today? I doubt that. They're probably about the same. Wasn't Coors. Coors was not in play until the 70s. Coors was regional, and then in the 70s, it started to become kind of a thing. Uh, Louisiana Beer Reviews, have you had a chance to pick up the Trader Joe's Oktoberfest? No, I haven't. Well, I did have a chance today. I can't say I didn't have a chance. I just didn't go there. I picked up Shiner Oktoberfest. Shiner Oktoberfest from Texas. And I have even more shocking news. I did Shiner Oktoberfest versus Yingling Oktoberfest. I made a video. I'll post it when the time comes. And I think you'll like that video. Louisiana Beer Review, seem like you have a great memory. Can you remember the first beer you ever tasted? Says Tommy. Yeah, it was probably Miller High Life, and it was probably 1969. Sipping it out of a bottle as a baby. I liked it. Going to Delaware tomorrow. Hope they have the St. Louis version. Haven't tried it yet, says Bart Robinson. Bart, can you believe I found it today? Can you believe this is actually happening on my alternative channel? I was shocked, but I was also shocked that it took 2 months. It was canned in July. Here we are in September. I live 10 hours from St. Louis. Like if I get in my car, it will take me 10 hours or less, not more or less, to drive to St. Louis. So you can this beer in July, and it took you 2 months and a day. Well, it might have been on the shelves yesterday, because I did see that the Pabst people delivered their beer yesterday. Okay, 2 months, exactly 2 months. It took you 2 months to deliver it. My thinking is it shouldn't have taken 2 days. Not 2 months, 2 days. So I'm thinking this should have been on the shelves 2 months ago. And I do not understand this company. I'm talking about the distributor. Why would it take you 2 months to get something on the shelves? What is the issue? This has been going on for years. This is not a new phenomenon. All right, but that is the story. But you say, oh, it's Williamsburg, Virginia. Okay, Williamsburg, Virginia. Okay, that's 3 days. Well, actually, it's 2 days. I could drive to Philadelphia in 2 days. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it should not take 2 months to get a 2-day beer on the shelves here. That's a problem. Now everybody's telling each other hello, happy Tuesday. How's it going? Well, as far as the Pabst Extra, it never did show up in my town. I could find it in Kenner, Louisiana. Maybe Metairie, Louisiana. I will be on the lookout for that. I don't have much confidence, but if I did find the Anheuser-Busch brewed Pabst Extra, I would try it. Yes, I would try it. I'm not thrilled with the Schlitz from Anheuser-Busch, but I'm certainly not hating it. I was definitely not thrilled with the City Brewing Schlitz. I don't know if Schlitz, City Brewing is going to go out of business. They did file for bankruptcy, meaning they couldn't pay their notes. And they have 4 breweries: Latrobe, Pennsylvania, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Memphis, Tennessee, and Irwindale, California, Los Angeles County. That would be a shame if they went out of business. There's a lot of people work there. And but something had to happen. I mean, like, why would they switch to Anheuser-Busch, right? Okay. Especially when you consider that Pabst has an ownership in City Brewing. Pabst, it was revealed when they did their disclosure with their bankruptcy proceedings. Pabst is an owner of City Brewing, and I thought that all along. Back 20 years ago, I thought, yeah, Pabst got their hand in that. Okay. Hello. They're saying hello to each other. I wish I could get Schlitz. Never seen it. Says Hector. I only get the Blue Bull malt liquor. Well, that's still Schlitz. That's the high grav. That's the not high gravity. That's the lager. The malt liquor. Introduced it 60 years ago. Schlitz malt liquor. This is the Schlitz. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. It's really funny that Louisiana, we get this every day, all day long. No bottles. Hadn't seen bottles 20 years, but 15 years. Get these cans. Always got the cans. I remember when I started tasting beer in 1996, I could get suitcases. 24 cans. 24 cans. They called it the suitcase. $7.98. Schlitz Light. Schlitz Regular. Every store around here. Every store. Schwegmans. Delchamps. Winn-Dixie. Oh, two of those three are out of business today. You won't believe this. $7.98, 24 pack. True story. But I would get the Schaefer, same price, $7.98. I thought the Schaefer had maybe a little bit better flavor. Okay. I missed the Milwaukee version for sure. Oh yeah. Well, they had a conflict. They got into it. I don't know what Schlitz said Pabst said they were trying to lowball them, and Miller said, no, we're not trying to hustle them. And I don't know. Hector, I can get the Blue Bull, but not the regular Schlitz. Okay. In Louisiana, where I live, we can get the regular Schlitz. Southeastern, New Orleans, Baton Rouge to the Gulf. We do not get the Schlitz Blue Bull. We did not get the Schlitz Gold Bull. They did try to sell the Gold Bull, but no one bought it. And it was a good price too. But it would always go out of date, and the store pulled it. Get this stuff out of here. They sold Schlitz in bottles, didn't really sell. They sold Schlitz in suitcases, but now what seems to be popular and steady, people buy it regularly, is the Schlitz cans in the 12 packs. So the 12 packs, $12.99. I prefer when it was $9.99. Obviously, I really liked when it was $9.99 in the suitcases. 26 years ago. But yeah, this is our Schlitz today. So I'll give it a B. A B. It's good. Nothing great. Good. It's good. I like it. I'll drink it. I'm not going to chase it down, but I'll drink it. Now, Louisiana beer reviews. Have you decided what you're bringing for Wild Card Wednesday? Well, this Wednesday is strong beer Wednesday. Any strong beer. So I'm still thinking about that because I have a lot of strong beers, actually. Probably one of these modern IPAs, but Joker's Wild Wednesday won't be till October. Yeah. And for October, well, it could be Schlitz. Could be that. That would be a good, of course, that would be a really good beer for regular beer. Regular beer Wednesday, right? All right. Well, we got Major League Baseball starting in about an hour, 2 hours, less than 2 hours. The Gold Bull and the High Gravity Colt are too powerful for me, says Bart. Yes, they're too powerful for me. Well, not the blue label. That's only 5.9. But yeah, I get your drift. Yeah, they're kind of. I think I'd rather stick with the Schlitz, the regular Schlitz. But cheers to Anheuser-Busch. You did a good job. It's not anything amazing, but 8.7 out of 10, a good beer. I'll be buying this regularly, off and on regularly for the foreseeable future. All right, take care, everybody. Bye bye.